Hello, fellow sleuths, I'm glad you're here. Today's missing person is Karlie Lain Guse. Karlie was only 16 when she went missing. She vanished early in the morning on Saturday, October 12, 2018. Karlie lived in Chalfont Valley, California, with a population of 650. She lived with her father, stepmother, and 2 younger stepbrothers. Karlie had chosen to stay with her father in Chalfont Valley instead of moving to Nevada with her mother, so she could stay near her friends. Friends and family describe Karlie as sweet, popular, and funny. Her mother says they were best friends. Friends describe Karlie as having episodes days before her disappearance and being scared and paranoid that her phone was being tracked. As with most disappearances, what happened in the days leading up to it can be just as important as what happened in the moment. The night before she disappeared, Karlie had asked permission to go to a football game. Instead, she went to a house party with her boyfriend. Around 8 p.m., her stepmother called and asked if she needed a ride home from the football game. Karlie declined, saying her boyfriend would bring her home. Less than an hour later, Karlie would call her stepmother back, giving her a real location and begging to be picked up, saying she was booking it down Dixon Lane and to hurry, she was scared. Her boyfriend later stated that at the party, Karlie seemed to suddenly panic. Quote, "She got scared of the music, she got scared of me." After her call, her stepmother immediately started the 14-mile journey to pick her up. She recalls Karlie not wanting to get off the phone, and she was adamant she was picked up immediately. Melissa couldn't find Karlie right away when she arrived. She actually found her half a mile down the road, still running, in the pitch black with only a cell phone. Karlie hopped into the car and told her stepmom she was scared. Her stepmother described her as really pale, like a ghost with dilated pupils. They arrived home. Her dad, already there, described her as huddling in a corner 1 minute and being scared of them the next. She seemed the most afraid of her phone. Karlie kept repeating she didn't know what was wrong. Karlie did admit to smoking marijuana while out. Her parents assumed this was where the paranoia came from and they didn't take her to the hospital. Karlie seemed to calm down and asked her stepmother to stay with her in her room for the night. During this time, her stepmother recorded her, planning to show Karlie when she was sober, hopefully to get her to stop using drugs. During this recording, Karlie talks about not wanting to sleep in case she was killed and asking if her stepmother will call 911. When her stepmother woke up the next morning, Karlie was gone. The front door was left ajar and Karlie was never seen again. A neighbor said he saw a thin female with long hair walk by his place early in the morning, clutching a piece of paper in her hand. Another neighbor also confirmed he saw Karlie walking by his house with a piece of paper in her hand. The third witness said they saw Karlie walking in the direction of US Highway 6, standing behind a barbed wire fence. The Mono County Sheriff's Office launched a massive search with helicopters, search dogs, and off-road vehicles. They also brought in cadaver dogs. When official search parties ended, private ones began. The FBI was involved in scouring Karlie's phone and digital records, and missing posters were put up everywhere across Eastern California. During these searches on the first day of her disappearance, her stepmother live-streamed updates on the search on Facebook. This led to a larger online presence and a lot of online criticism. Many people thought the stepmother's eyes shifted constantly, and that meant she was lying. Karlie's biological mother doubted her stepmother also, telling Nancy Grace she's heard 4 or 5 different stories now. Her mother believes that Karlie had a drug overdose and that her stepmother and father covered it up because they didn't take her to the hospital. A private investigator that her mother hired claimed the sheriff's office did not follow proper procedure. They didn't serve a warrant for the family cars, or analyze Karlie's bed sheets. The sheriff in charge of the case says they don't have a theory or suspects. She believes people online aren't even locals and just feel like behind a keyboard they can say whatever they want. Personally, I understand what Karlie's mother is going through, and she probably wants someone to blame, or just for an answer. But I think 3 different people, 2 of whom knew Karlie, wouldn't misidentify her walking around that morning. Her behavior before her disappearance does kind of remind me of someone developing schizophrenia. It's normally developed in women between their late 20s and early 30s. The random paranoia and sudden change is part of what makes me think this. But I'm not a doctor, nor am I an expert in schizophrenia. Either way, Karlie's disappearance is tragic for all the people who loved her. I can't help but hope she's out there, like with most of these cases. If you have any information, I'm including links in the description where you can send it. Also, links to help you learn more about Karlie and her case. She's been missing almost 2 years now, and I hope some kind of closure can come to her family. Thank you for listening today. and stay safe out there.